what are the big three macros and how should you approach eating them within your diet? Okay, the first one is protein, and protein is just the materials needed to build muscle. All right, what is your muscle down to the atomic level? It is primarily just amino acids, which this is important to understand because, of course, when you're under the idea that you want to gain muscle, the biggest thing to understand is that you're just adding on amino acids to already existing tissue. And so the strength of your stimulus, which the strength of the stimulus you provide in the gym, is therefore going to be based around primarily carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a great source of energy, and so therefore whenever you are trying to maximize hypertrophy and apply a strong stimulus, you want to favorably have enough carbs to go with that. So it's almost dreadful and really upsetting to see the first macro that people touch whenever they enter a diet is carbs. They cut carbs immediately because, you know, carbs are known, carbohydrate, they're also known to bind water. Like, you know, the biggest thing is intramuscular glycogen binds to fluid, okay? Roughly 3 to 4 grams of fluid per gram of glycogen. And it's a very simple way to lose a lot of weight if you just cut carbs, because you're losing fluid in your muscles. Now, if I asked you, how do you think that's going to affect your performance? Well, it'd be a very simple answer for you to make. It would massively affect performance, which it does. So for you to cut carbs, I don't recommend it, guys. In terms of dietary fat is going to help a lot with hormone health, but it can also aid in digestion, and it's also a great source of energy. People often forget that and therefore look at it as just, I should get the bare minimum amount of dietary fat. You know, most foods that contain a good source of dietary fat also contain what? A good source of vitamins and minerals. So neglecting these foods is often making your, you know, health or long-term sustainability of your diet a lot worse because you choose to eat 0.3 grams of dietary fat per pound of body weight. You want to stick with these bodybuilding anecdotal numbers that don't really apply to every single person in the entire world. It's not a one size fits all. It truly is. Everybody's situation is different. But once you understand the body to a certain point, you realize everyone's different, but there are rules and laws that people have to kind of follow in a sense. So with that being said, I recommend anywhere between 0.3 upwards of 0.5 grams of dietary fat per pound of goal body weight. The reason we base this upon goal body weight and not current body weight is because some individuals might be a lot fatter than they think. Okay. In terms of protein, I recommend 0.8 grams of protein per pound of lean body mass. This is plenty for the raw materials, and the rest, carbs.